How we doing, folks, and welcome back to Wild Shrimp. In today's video, we're going to try and clear up some of the confusion surrounding this and the other YouTube channel. If you don't know what this is, click in the description below. There is a link in there that will take you through to a video that looks like this, and that will explain how to make it, how it works, and why it works. Okay, it's called the constant siphon to us because it allows you to absolutely transform your efficiency come water change day if you have multiple tanks. You can set it, forget it, walk away, do something else, and your water will not drain past the set level. Now, other people call it, and rightly so, a PVC overflow because it can also be used not just for water changes through several tanks, but as a way to evacuate water from a tank for any reason whatsoever. Now, whether that's you're doing a constant water change where water is constantly trickling in and you need a way for the excess to leave, this is the answer. Whether you're using a sump and you don't want to drill the tank, you need another way to get the water from inside the tank back to the sump. This is the answer. Now, the confusion. That was our most successful video, quite obviously. Out of the 100 plus that we've put out, that's the one that actually got any sort of success. Cool. People don't like my stuff. That's brilliant. But the confusion around this piece is due to a much bigger, much more successful YouTube channel called the Tank Talk Podcast. Now, before anybody runs off, are we slating the Tank Talk Podcast? Not at all. I watch it every week, and I religiously watch everything that Primetime Aquatics put out. Jason, absolutely fantastic guy. Would love to meet him. And John, I got no ill feelings towards him either, even if he has referred to me as a jackass in the past. Now, if you don't know what the Tank Talk Podcast is, it is a aquarium podcast where two guys with their heads on upside down talk about everything aquatics related. It's definitely worth checking out if you don't know about it, okay? Now, what we're actually going to try and clear up is what John said about PVC overflows and the fact that they don't work. You should always drill the tank, but they do work. So the easiest thing to do is, this is what was said.
The question is it possible to set up a sump filter without having to drill holes in the tank? Again, I think you can see now why this is a perfect question for me. I'm going to be very controversial right here, and I'm going to say something that a lot of people are going to disagree with right off the jump, and that is, no, you cannot do it. You cannot set up a sump without drilling the tanks, which I know is preposterous because there's people that are like, wait a minute, Joey made that video. It has like 1 million views where you can make an overflow out of PVC and it goes over the top of the tank. And yeah, you can do that. I've done it using Joey's exact design. In fact, that's how I was introduced to Joey back in like 2010. That was the very first video I ever watched from him. I built exactly what he built in that video, and it worked beautifully. All due respect to Joey Mullen, the king of DIY, personal friend of both of ours, Jason. It's the ugliest thing anybody's ever put in their aquarium, period. Joey would tell you the exact same thing. Does it do the job? Yes. But is it ugly? Oh yeah. It's horrible. It would.
Okay, so are they ugly? Well, when you look at it like this, it's not the most pleasing piece of kit visually. However, what you need to realize is it's only this bit that is in the aquarium. Now, that's 2 pipes. That's no more pipage than an external canister filter. So, yeah. And they don't have to be made out of white PVC. This is great. You can get black. You can have any color you want. More expensive, but you can have any color you want. So are they ugly? No, that's a silly statement. Are they noisy? This one, this design, 100% silent. When you first set it up, you may get a gurgle. Just done, okay? Silent. Does it fail? No. And if you've watched the video on how this works, you understand why it cannot fail. Or can it? It could. Anything can conceivably fail, okay? That does not mean this is any less reliable than drilling your tank. If you drill your tank, you are likely to still have a piece of PVC that comes from the hole up to where you want to set the water line. So you still have a PVC pipe in there. Also, drilling your tank is going to have a lot more connections. Every connection is a failure point. How many connections are we talking about? Well, the bulkhead for a start. That is a big failure point. And then every connection further on from that is a potential failure point. Now with our system, How many failure points are we talking about? Now, this is all in the water. So even if these are not 100% sealed, it makes no difference because the water level's up here. Air can't get in. The only way this can fail is in 3 locations. This join, and this join. Now, PVC welding is not hard to do. You get some paste, you wrap it around the inside of the tube and then around the outside of the tube that you are going to insert inside the other one. It's the same way that PVC is assembled inside your house. And how often does that fail? Doesn't really, does it? So is it likely to fail with the PVC? No, it's not. One way it could fail is this. Now, if you want to really do it on a budget, you can change this flexible PVC for silicone hose. The reason you don't want to use silicone hose is it's more permeable, which means atmospheric air has a higher chance of actually coming through the rubber and making an air pocket. Now, if it's in constant use, how likely is that? I very much doubt it, but there's a reason that we use flexible PVC. It's much, much more reliable. It's not going to fail. So, cost. How expensive is it? This one is quite expensive because it's using 40mm PVC. If you're using 75 or 3/4 inch, something like that, prices are going to vary massively. Now, furniture grade PVC, which is 3/4 inch, costs pennies. So if you're only making a small one for a bunch of small tanks, it won't cost you hardly anything at all. I would argue that you would have to drill holes in a lot of tanks to make the drill bit, a quality glass drill bit, come anywhere near cost efficient. Also, bulkheads, they're really not cheap. Really not cheap. I'll tell you what is cheap. One of these. I mean, it's not cheap compared to a Mars bar, but it's cheaper than drilling a tank. And then it comes on to the tanks themselves. Most of you that don't want to drill a tank are in fear of breaking it. Now, depending on where you live in the world, depends on how expensive tanks are. Here in the UK, yeah, they cost a bit. I know in the US, with the crazy sales that you guys have that we're all jealous of, they don't cost that much. So if you break 1, 2, 3, 7, doesn't matter. Which one is more likely to clog? A PVC overflow or a drilled tank? It's exactly the same. Okay, so the PVC overflow, it doesn't run the same diameter all the time. So maybe something could flow quite freely in here, but then will get stuck trying to go through the tube. Well, this one isn't finished. Have a look at the other video. You'll quite clearly see that you have a strainer on the top. It's got no more chance of clogging than a drilled system. So that's not a failure point either. So what was John talking about? Well, he wasn't even talking about that system. You see, the Tank Talk podcast was not a reaction to our video. They've probably never even seen or heard of our video. Don't expect them to. They are a much more successful, bigger channel, and 2 very, very busy guys. Jason especially. That guy is just forever busy. What they were actually referring to is a PVC overflow system created over a decade ago by Waru Joey, the king of DIY, or Joey Mullen, depending on how you know him. Now, that system uses a lot more PVC, and it is entirely PVC pipe, which means there are a lot more failure points. Let's have a look at it.
Your tank's going to start to fill with water. As soon as the water level gets to the top of the PVC inlet pipe that's on the inside of your tank, water starts to flow down it. It doesn't take long to fill that pipe up, but as soon as it fills up the inside loop, that's as far as it goes. You could pump as much water as you want into the tank and nothing's going to happen other than flooding your tank. Once you install your check valve, which is actually used to prime the overflow.
So this to me is the biggest chance of failure. There's no need for this to exist. Both of those other pipes outside the tank, if you covered one and sucked on the other one, that would prime it just as well. That is a completely unnecessary failure point right there.
You are able to prime the overflow and get it functioning. Now the purpose of the check valve is pretty straightforward. A check valve itself, it's a one-way check valve. It allows you to suck air out of the PVC, but no air can flow back in. Water starts flowing in. Water will try to fill the entire PVC pipe, until it reaches the top rim, the top loop of the overflow. At that point, it can't flow up any higher because the overflow, that standpipe, is actually taller than the rest of it. Gravity's going to kick in before it even ever gets to the top loop, but generally it will sometimes get to the top loop. Once gravity kicks in, water's going to be sucked back down and water will flow out.
So you can see that every single joint, because that is actually where the water flows through, is a failure point. But like I said earlier, how often do the PVC pipes in your house actually fail? They don't. John wasn't talking about this system. He was talking about another system, which I built 7, 8, maybe even 10 years ago. Did it fail? No. Was it noisy? No. Is it ugly? Yeah, because I made it out of white PVC because it's dirt cheap. Furniture grade white PVC costs nothing. But that system, it's not that ugly. It's silent. It's very unlikely to fail, and I guarantee it's cheaper than drilling a tank, whether you break the tank or not. So hopefully, guys, that has straightened it out. They were not having a go at us. We're not having a go at them. They don't know we exist, but we like them. That's it. It's as simple as that. So I hope everybody found a reason to smile today. I'm sorry this might have been pretty boring for you, but it needed to be said because there was some people that were getting quite confused. Do they work? Don't they work? Yeah, they absolutely work. I promise you, they work. Hopefully tomorrow you will have the opportunity to make a stranger smile, and if you could do that, that'd be great. Just make somebody's day. Might be a big gesture or a small gesture. Often it costs nothing. So let's all work on that together, and I'll see you in the next one.